Hello teacups, what's brewing? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're here with Chantal's Yep, I'm Doing It Again video. Do excuse me, not stream. I've cut out the ad for you and just skipped straight to her proof of life with Howie because people were saying they hadn't seen him on camera much and therefore they presumed he was dead. Of course she doesn't follow along with our nonsense, but here's the proof, haters. But the video is coming in at about 17 minutes, so I'm just going to get it started because otherwise I think this is going to run quite long.
And I have some marigolds.
These appear to be the little pots you get from the garden centre. It looks like they're on a tray here, so I'm guessing they brought some. It really doesn't matter how they display them. If she's getting some kind of pleasure from having plants in the house, then great. But it just struck me as a bit odd that they were still in that tray. You would think she would, like when you buy like this, you would replant them in your garden or maybe have a big pot you replant them into. I'm not sure if they're meant to be sustained in the little ones. They don't tend to have enough space for their roots and things, but I am by no means an expert gardener. There are very few plants I can keep alive. I have one type of plant that I've managed to keep alive at the moment, and that's only because it's a lily of the valley, or it's lily of the valley adjacent is that kind of plant. But basically they swoon like a stereotypical Victorian lady anytime they need water. And so I come in and they're just drooping over like, how dare you kill me? And I know, okay, give them some water, they'll perk up, which is really useful for me because otherwise I just end up killing them. I have a black thumb, not a green one.
Kind of outdoor plants. I just watered them yesterday. And I opened the curtain here. The sun does shine right on them here.
But this is the problem I have with my indoor plants, because I have some quite big windows. I don't really have windowsills, but the windows here are treated so that the sunlight doesn't get through. So the flowers don't get the quality of light they need.
Like in the day. So before we go to bed, we open the curtain. Now, some of them are starting to bloom, but I'm trying to take care of them inside and we'll see how it goes.
I mean, give it a try.
So we don't have an outside space, but they smell nice and they brighten up the room a bit, so I actually enjoy them. So for those of you wondering, this is the wet food I feed my cat, Julia.
Who on earth is wondering that? Why?
She really loves it. Delicious dinners, butchers. Hello guys, welcome back to another video.
Thank you for welcoming me.
So today is going to be a video that's going to make you roll your eyes.
Yes.
And probably freak out in the comments.
Not freak out that badly. I mean, what she's doing is stupid, but it's not unexpected.
But I think I want to try this before I do anything else. So I will show you my blood sugar reading here. This is fasting for over 24 hours blood sugar reading. Okay, so
for all intents and purposes, 12. Unless you're the gingerbread man, 12 is not good fasted.
This is my fasting.
That is alarming.
Blood. I have been sleeping all day because I'm not feeling well today, actually.
That doesn't surprise me at all. Look at you. With that reading? Yeah, no wonder.
So, yeah, that is the right time. And this is MMOL. I'll try to put the conversion there for you, but my blood fasting was yesterday 2:30, which is...
Higher.
I'll put the conversion here somewhere, so...
Yesterday's blood was 16.
So it is down some points, which is really good. So I'm just going to continue.
But if you've been sleeping all day and not eating, of course it's down. That's why there's a difference between fasted and non-fasted blood readings. But to have it swinging so much would really concern me.
I'm going to drink water today and see what happens when I continue to fast to my blood sugar. I'll keep an eye on it. I won't let it go too low. But I don't think I'll have that problem. But we'll see. I did my mukbang video, the diet food, yesterday.
This diet food The idea of it isn't bad. Just like when she said she was ordering it the first time, I didn't think it was a bad idea either, because her issue is the type of food she prepares and then the portion sizes she has. And this would take care of both of those things. She likes having the feeling of takeout and receiving food and unpackaging it, and it would be better than what she usually eats. But she couldn't stick to it the first time. She told us that she had been eating around it and that they hadn't wasted the food, she had eaten it, but she hadn't stuck to the diet, which was eating nothing but that. So if she couldn't do it the first time, and this becomes relevant to all the choices she makes in this video, why would you think this would be the time it would work? It's like Amber going back and back and back to Weight Watchers. And didn't I say in my video, when I was reacting to the diabetes video, the initial one, I said the way she was talking about I have enough energy stored in my body, I don't want to put more calories in there, I could feel a water fast coming. It was just approaching.
And then I have been water fasting, for over 24 hours now. So, it seems to be working. Like, my blood sugar has gone down.
Because you fasted, yes, there is a difference between eating and fasting blood sugar. That doesn't mean it's going to help you moving forward. I mean, if the problem of diabetes is that your blood sugar goes to extremes, why would you risk it with fasting? Even for people who don't have health problems, fasting is something that should be undertaken with a doctor. And she tried this quite recently. She tried this. Did she try this in June, July when she was going to do that health journey? Was that when she did that the first time here? Or am I thinking of a different attempt? I feel like we're talking less than 6 months ago.
By 5 points. So yesterday it was 16 when I tested it. And now that's MMOL. I've changed it to MMOL, which is what I'm used to. But I'll do the conversion here. So 11 is just about 200 mgdl.
That's a solid twice as much as it should be.
So it's going down a little bit. So I'm happy about that.
And here's the issue I have. There's always an argument, this is better than where I was. But she is out of that kind of time. You can't just do better sometimes. Sometimes you just have to do it right, you know? And even now, when she's facing some of the scariest stuff for her, she's just fucking around. That is what she's doing here. Well, I'm going to just try this extreme diet. Why? Why, considering you say you went to a doctor and you're going back in a month, why on earth wouldn't you have spoken to that doctor about either getting a plan from him or getting referred to a dietitian to get a plan from them? Now, Foodie could have gone to a doctor because there's a couple of options you can do. If you've got the card and the information, then you can register with a GP and you can have them be your regular doctor. If you just need care, you can go to a hospital or to a clinic. You can sign in there, register there for whatever visit you're doing. Because this is what I did with my vaccine. I went to a local medical center, gave them my insurance, gave them my details. And they have some GPs that just operate from within the hospital that sees anyone who walks in. You just go and wait in the waiting room. So maybe because it's not a regular doctor, maybe because she's on a tourist visa and therefore they don't see the need to refer her because she's only meant to be there temporarily. Maybe they just said, hey, follow up with your doctor at home, the home you will obviously be returning to because you don't have the legal status to stay here long term. So maybe she doesn't have the option of pursuing a dietitian or whoever. But if you're willing to do something so extreme, if you're willing to give up food entirely, whether you can stick to it or not, if you're willing to do these crazy things, why aren't you willing to do the sensible ones? This happened last time she decided she wanted water fasting. Last time the doctor tried to give her a plan, she ended up having like the speech about, well, doctors don't really know nutrition. Which it might not be their specialty, but I can guarantee that trained professionals know more than you do. She has always defaulted to fasting being the answer, but she's beyond the point where any quick fix will help her enough. She needs to realize that she's at the point where a diet won't fix it. A lifestyle change might, but it would have to be a permanent change. She's out of chances here. We joke about her being kind of a cockroach in the sense of she'll survive anything. Consequences never happen to her. She's got a million lives. But the fact is she's got one, and at some point she's going to run out of chances.
Now, I will be monitoring it very closely to make sure that it doesn't get too low, because, you know, I hear people saying, well, it's dangerous for people with diabetes to fast.
Yeah, because you're supposed to be regulating. Yes, lowering, but regulating. You're supposed to be doing everything you can to keep it at a healthy level. And going to extremes is just going to make it ping pong all over the place.
I would say people with type 1 diabetes, yes.
Oh, medical degree Chantal has entered the chat.
Because they have problems with their blood sugar getting very, very low. I don't know about type 2, but I think that because this was more than likely caused, there are genetic factors. Like every single person in my family, almost every single person in my family has diabetes.
You are predispositioned, but your lifestyle is also crap. Absolute crap. And she discussed the things she would need to do to change it. Now, if this is a case of she just can't access the longer term care she needs and she doesn't want to admit it, then she's in quite the bind, because she's going to need long-term monitoring for this. Her trying to get one over on everyone because she doesn't want to admit when she's been lying and when she hasn't been will have serious consequences.
But not this young in age. So I think I can reverse it or put it into remission or whatever you want to call it.
There is a possibility with a huge amount of change in your life you could manage your condition. Perhaps not with medication right away. Perhaps not without medication right away. Like, have some medication to get you on a better level. Make those changes while you're taking it, and then try and wean off and see if you can keep them level. That's the sensible thing to do. Another thing she could actually do, I was thinking about this, because her big concern right now is she's got so many other issues, she doesn't know how to deal with them all, which is why you go talk to a doctor, which might be something she doesn't have the option of doing. Before I had WLS, I had to do a liver reduction diet because they have to move your liver in order to reach your stomach to do the surgery. And if your liver is swollen, if your liver isn't in really good condition, then you can potentially damage the organ as you move it. And so you go on this very low carb, very low fat diet. Now, I would have found that impossible to do forever, but I was very motivated because I wanted to be safe for surgery. So I would have a protein shake for breakfast, and for my 2 meals, I would have either white fish and some kind of vegetable, low carb vegetable on the side, or I'd have a piece of lean meat and low carb vegetables on the side. I mean, like stir fried spinach, that kind of thing. And I also found, just so I could have something, I found some yogurt, some lemon Greek yogurt thing that had low enough sugars that I could fit it in, because it was 1,200 calories. I think it was under 20 grams of fat and under 20 grams of carbs. I'm not saying she could do that forever. I'm not saying she should do that forever. But she's not saying she's doing this forever either. She's saying she's got a month until her next appointment. You want to do something, you want to do something extreme, do that, because it will help take care of your liver. The lack of fat and lack of carbs will hopefully take care of your heart, certainly more than the high fat keto idea. And it should lower your numbers. Now, it's kind of boring to do. Like I said, I don't think she could do it long term. But you want an option, take that as an option you can actually eat. If you're seriously saying you can go without food, then eat the food that's going to help you. She has, by the way, already put up a community post saying, I'm not feeling very well, sorry guys. So she's not going to be on, she might go on TikTok later. I don't know if she actually did or not. But that's how the other one ended. She tried to do it for a night, she felt really, really terrible and she gave up. So I fully expect in the next day we're going to get a video going, oh, I just couldn't do it. And that's another problem because it's going to encourage further extremes. When she comes off this, she's not going to come off it slowly. The refeeding process she likes to tell us about, she's going to break and binge because that's all she'll feel able of doing.
Because yes, you guys were right. Technically, when you look it up, there's no cure, but you can go down to normal sugar levels.
You can manage it with,
So, my blood sugar levels are hyperglycemic, and if I go down to hypoglycemic, I will stop fasting and eat healthy, whatever. I'm gonna see how far I can go. I want to give my system a break. I'm honest.
I swear to God if she uses the word detox. I don't remember if she does, but if she does.
Honestly afraid to eat anything at this point because of how it affects my blood pressure, how it affects my blood sugar levels.
Yeah. Blood pressure, blood sugar, heart, liver. She's got a number of problems she should be addressing.
And, I've been reading the comments. That's what I also wanted to open with this video, and I wanted to open my video by saying this, but I didn't get to. I just forgot. I'm sorry. This is what happens when you're not organized with what you want to say. I want to say that I haven't really had the time to reply to all of the comments.
What else have you been doing? Have you been out? Well, I suppose the flowers came from somewhere. Maybe you have been. Would have been nice to vlog.
But I've been reading them, and I want to thank you guys for your suggestions, your tips, your concerns. It really, really means a lot to me.
Let's see if she's singing this tune in another 48 hours, because that's usually when things start to break down.
Like I said, to have people on the internet who I don't really, know, but who care about me in some way, and that means a lot, and I don't take that for granted. And
these poor new people that are doing this have no idea what's coming.
I do take these things into consideration, and I totally understand where you're coming from. People thinking I should be on medication.
Yeah.
And that might be the case. I'm gonna see how the fasting goes.
I think if we look at any of the previous fasting videos, we can tell you how the fasting is going to go.
I haven't been able to do a very prolonged fast, more than 5 days of water fasting.
How many years ago was the 5 days now? I don't believe that she did do 5 days. Didn't she admit to lying later? Feel like she did? But how long ago was that now?
But in those 5 days, I keep saying this, I know my body did feel really good, and I lost a significant amount of weight.
So good that you stopped?
And I think that I have enough stored fat on my body,
but you're not trying. Okay, this is the problem. She gets the idea of losing weight and regulating blood sugar and all the other things rolled up into one issue, and yes, they are interconnected. Probably losing weight, let's be real, definitely losing weight would help her to feel better in other ways. But because losing weight would involve controlling diet would involve regulating blood sugars because she wouldn't be eating the crap that's making them worse. You can't separate them all, but she's got to be aware of her goal right now. One of the most dangerous things she's got happening right now is the blood sugar being so high. And the fasting is endangering that, not helping it.
Energy in my liver that I need to give my body a break, and it can be triggering for people with binge eating disorder to fast, but
she's going to do it anyway because that's something she believes. But when it comes to other suggestions on things that might impact her binging, she doesn't want to hear it.
I have to do it. I have to do something drastic right now because
But nothing like follow the diet that doctors give you. How drastic would that be?
I just, I feel like anything I eat just throws my system out of whack, and this is the only thing so far that's been lowering my blood sugar. Like, this is the biggest dent I've made in lowering my blood sugar.
You've been doing this for 2 days. It's been 2 days. This is the problem. She thinks if she fasts for a day, her problems will be solved. She is pushing 40. The body doesn't work like that. She's pushing 40 and has been abusing her body for years, for the majority of her life, for all of her adulthood. The body doesn't bounce back like that. You can help it. Absolutely, you can help it. Absolutely, you should help it. But if you're so scared you don't know what to eat, the answer is not, well, just stop eating. The answer is go see a professional. And if you don't have a regular GP because of your status, go somewhere private, pay for that, and get a plan for the next month.
Since I've been trying to do something, which isn't very long, but, eating low carb, that chicken dinner, my blood sugar didn't go up, but it didn't go down. So after I fast.
When she had that chicken dinner, she also had like that yogurt and the kiwi and the stuff like that. Now, not terrible choices, but when she says low carb, there is lower carb than that. And we don't know what she ate off camera. But that's what I'm saying. Like, she's doing one meal. She's doing one day. And she's saying, well, it didn't go up, but it didn't go down. Okay, well, you have to do that for longer. She has no concept of what consistency is.
Maybe a couple of days or so, I'm not sure. There's a lot of people who intermittent fast, by the way. Intermittent fasting can be you fast for a few days a week and eat a few days a week kind of thing. But
I know some people do that, but again, not people in her condition. And if she's got diabetes, that seems like a terrible idea. Just like limiting your eating time so you're eating more in short periods and then not having anything seems like the worst thing for level blood sugar.
When I go back to eating, I'm going to be doing, clean food, low carb, that kind of thing. So,
the thing is though, I've recommended low carb for her before, right? And I eat a fairly high fat, fairly low carb diet myself. So there are reasons I've recommended it. But she also has high blood pressure and she also has an enlarged heart and God knows what else because she won't have had it checked. Like, she's eaten so many fatty foods for so long. I mean, the idea of, like I said, having a low carb and a low fat diet must seem really tough to her and it would be tough to stick to, but that's why she needs help because she's got so many serious comorbidities. Because I don't think high fat is going to be any better for her than high carb. If I thought she would stick to it and do it properly, I would say, okay, try keto, see if it helps. But I don't think she'll do it right. I don't think she'll get a good plan. I don't think she'll weigh her food and balance her macros. And if you're not careful, you're just putting more fat into your diet, which isn't necessarily something that's going to help her.
Probably a cleaner keto just because I don't have a gallbladder and my body is not able to handle very high fatty food.
Which is why this is maybe not a good idea for you. And I like keto as a diet. I like low carb as a diet, as I say. But clean keto doesn't mean lower fat. It means trying to get those sources from more natural places. But if you can't eat higher amounts of fat, whether you go clean or whether you go dirty, it's still going to be fat in your body. It might not be for you.
Very greasy kinds of foods without feeling sick. Already, I feel so much less bloated.
Well, that doesn't surprise me. You haven't eaten for
I don't feel hungry. I just feel sick.
If you've got blood sugar issues, that's probably not a good sign.
Like, I just feel ill, kind of like low energy, even to make this video. So my videos might be I'm gonna try to make them as interesting as I can for you guys.
I think that's a lost cause at this point. Just do whatever you do.
But for the first few days, it's gonna be rough, you know?
If she were, I'm pausing this every 2 seconds. I'm so sorry. I'm just actually worried. Like, if she were in a better condition and she were just trying to lose weight, I would say, okay, it's rough, just carry on through. But she's gonna have no idea because she's so used to being so uncomfortable. She's going to have no idea at what point she's not just feeling regular sick and at what point it's dangerous.
One thing I super dread about fasting is that bad taste you get in your mouth. Anyone who's fasted for like more than a few days will know what I mean. But yeah, I have like over 200.
She's done it so
like
often.
250 pounds or so. Because for my height, I'm 5'1", okay? I'm 155 centimeters. I think that's 5'1" when you convert it. My healthy weight range, if you look it up, is like 100 to like 120 pounds. So anything over that is kind of considered like overweight for my height, and which is why I'm so round and shaped, why I look so big, you know, especially from the side, because I'm apple shaped, I'm like ball shaped at this point. I'm so round because of how much I weigh and how, you know. Speaking of which, I want to say I've been getting a lot of lovely comments, and I shouldn't focus on any negative,
But she's about to.
but I do see people still commenting, and I think I know where it's coming from. There's certain reaction channels that are just so hell-bent on, you know, finding something to complain about.
So let's give them more attention.
So they go after my scale. I've shown you guys my scale many, many times, and there's no function to mess with it, okay?
She's saying there's no tear function. I have no idea. We only see it pointed at the floor, so she could be holding on, she might not be. Generally, I try not to focus on the look how fat she is line of thought because I just don't always feel it's necessary. However, in Twitter, there have been pictures of her at different points when she's claimed to be the same weight or very, very close to the same weight that the scale was showing now, and she looks entirely different. Like, she is a completely different size. I don't know at what point she was lying, but at some point those numbers don't make sense because there is no way she can be twice as big now and still be the same weight. Even when you factor in, as you get older, things shift a little bit. She's just bigger than she was, and that's not meant as an insult to her. I'm not accusing her of that. I'm not throwing it at her. But you can see those pictures. She is clearly bigger than she was.
Also, I've been on a scale before where, at the doctor, where the scale only goes up to 250 pounds, and what will happen is the scale will go up to the 250 pounds. Like, in that one, it will max out at that. So this scale goes up to like, I think 400 pounds or 180 kg, which is like just shy of 400 pounds. It would say 400 pounds. Like, it would either say 400 pounds, it would say error, or it would just be like a bunch of numbers and zeros. Like, it wouldn't be saying consistently, you know, 30 to 40 pounds lighter than its limit. It wouldn't do it. I really don't know how people just don't realize that.
All I know about scales is that if you're very close to the limit, they don't weigh accurately. That's as much as I would say about it.
You know, I'm sorry if that doesn't fit your narrative, you know, and makes you look very deceptive to your audience, but that's how it is.
Ooh, that was some projection. Honey, I'm not the one weighing in on camera. I'm not the one refusing to have Salah come and film you so people can just see you're not messing with it, which would be the easiest way to deal with this. But let's throw out deceptive to your audience, shall we?
You know, if my weight was too high for my scale, it would either show 400 pounds maxed out, like it did at the doctor's. It would say...
No. You didn't just say that. We're going back. Hang on. She said 250 at the doctor's.
Finding something...
That's why I was looking so weird at it, because she said 250 and I was like, I thought she weighed in at 403 at the doctor. The last time she was in Canada. Hang on, I'm going to find this.
at the doctor, where the scale only goes up to 250 pounds.
So if it goes up to 250 pounds, how did you get to 400? Please explain. And if she's talking about the doctor here, then that's weird. If she's talking about the doctor at home, she told us she weighed in at 403 at the doctor. So if 400 was the max and then it wouldn't move, which is what she's claiming now, how did she get a 403 reading? It doesn't go up to that. What kind of bullshit are you pulling here, Foodie? Because this is the problem with her. Whenever she tells lies, she forgets she's told lies. Or she can't keep track of them, and this happens. Because that didn't make sense.
It would either show 400 pounds maxed out, like it did at the doctor's. It would say error.
I would say that anytime I've seen a scale not work, it said error. Like when my battery goes low, it doesn't just put a different number up, it says error. But now, like, Foodie lies like she breathes. So after that conversation of 250 versus 400 versus 403 versus, oh no, the doctor can definitely weigh me, no, my scale's definitely right, what shit is this? Because that's not the truth.
Or it would say a bunch of zeros or something like that. It wouldn't say 30 to 40 pounds lighter.
But it might say the wrong number.
It just amazes me the really asinine things people come up with.
It just amazes me the really asinine, poorly remembered lies you will spout out when you're trying to prove a point, even when it shoots you in your own foot.
For content. But anyway.
I'm
gonna weigh myself tomorrow actually and keep track of that. But I think
has she put out a video today? I'm gonna have to check. Or is that the reason she's always sick? Is it because she weighed herself and she hated the number?
that it's gonna be good for me to do the fasting. Also, another thing about fasting that's really beneficial for health is it depletes the glycogen stores in your liver.
I don't need Dr. Foodie. You haven't even seen a doctor for a plan. I don't want to follow your diet in life. I don't need Dr. Foodie.
And I have fatty liver disease, so it will eat up all of that stuff in my liver. So
well, she sounds knowledgeable, doesn't she?
And then it will go on to kicking into the keto mode, and it'll use my stored fat as energy. I mean, that's why we store fat. We don't store fat just for anything else. I mean, we store fat because we might need it for energy at a later time, and you can get a lot more energy out of fat than with glucose. So I'm learning a lot more about that before.
Go to a professional, because when I say this is going to end in tears, this is going to end in funerals.
I feel kind of stupid talking about it because
because you sound stupid.
So against it. I'm not going to completely eliminate all.
No. We're used to you being a hypocrite. You sound stupid because it's stupid.
Carbs, like, it's just that the bad ones, yeah. But I'm going to eat pretty low carb.
What is pretty low carb? What does that mean in grams? What is your plan? What are your calorie goals? What are your macros? What sources of food are you going to get them from?
So my body has a lot of energy reserves right now. I should be totally fine. I know that fasting is taboo still a bit, and people are skeptical, so...
People are skeptical because I, claiming to have a major blood sugar issue with readings that should rightly terrify me, have decided that messing with my blood sugar levels more by denying myself food is going to be the best way to de-stress my body from this thing. I wonder why people might have a problem with that.
I don't blame you. You're allowed your opinion. That's
Oh,
fine.
I've got it. Don't worry.
But...
You're allowed your opinion. That's fine. I didn't need your permission, actually. Thanks.
I'm going to see how it goes, okay?
You can. In fact, you can go back to your video and skip this whole day and you'll know how it goes.
So far, the proof's in the numbers. It's been going down. Another thing I wanted to add about, my scale being broken.
I love how She claims that she lives rent-free in all our heads. But in this moment of crisis, this is all she can think about.
When have I ever cared at all about how I look?
You are so filtered right now, you are basically unrecognizable. Don't you tell me you don't care about how you look. I can see through the filter that you have a little spot right there. Yeah? I can see it because even the filter can't manage it. We get spots, it's okay. I had one here the other day. If I turned my head the wrong way, I accidentally blocked out the sun. It was appalling. It doesn't happen often, but God, it happened with enthusiasm. Here's the thing. I have a light on. I don't have filters on my camera. This is portrait video mode, which makes the background of this slightly more blurry. And that's all I do, right? Because I really don't care what people think about my looks. Because I am on the internet and people get to talk about it. Foodie herself has certainly done it on occasion. But don't you sit there and say you don't care how you look when we haven't seen you unfiltered in gotta be a year and a half.
To people, like, I'm doing this weight thing for my health, not for looks. I've never hidden myself from the camera. You've seen me in the past, the exercise ball, coming on camera just barely clothed.
I've also seen you cry when people call you fat. I've also seen you back down entirely in real world interactions. Foodie doesn't feel the same sense of embarrassment between her and the camera because people aren't present. It doesn't feel real. It gives her an extra layer. We have seen what it's like when people are there and you feel uncomfortable.
It doesn't make any sense. This theory doesn't make any sense. And what's funny
as you sit there with a filter,
these accusations are coming from people, reactors who literally do not cam up or show even their face.
I'm here. You are mortified when people see you in real life. That is what I will say.
They don't show any part of themselves. So I'm sorry, but here I am in front of you. I have no reason to hide my weight because 360 pounds is still heavy. And
you're not 360 pounds. It's not the point. I don't care if you lie to yourself. I do care that you go and get some medical help.
Even if I was 600 pounds, I wouldn't be ashamed to show it. You know, I'm just not one of those people that's ashamed of myself. And if you look at me who's showing myself on camera in front of you versus people who hide behind a camera.
Okay, then commit to filming with no filters. Then you can sit there and tell me you're not ashamed. Commit just from now to not using filters.
Judge other people and call them fat, whatever. I mean, hello.
Hi.
Anyway, so yeah, I just wanted to do a quick video update. Just taking it easy. Gonna be spending the next while trying to fast.
I'm guessing sleep would be the easiest way. I think she does say that she was sleeping, but when she says trying to fast, like, another problem she has is one way to kind of get through a fasting time would be to distract yourself with other things. She doesn't have anything else going on in her life. Like, she fills her time with food. It's one of the reasons she finds food so enthralling. It fills her time. She gets bored. What's she gonna do if she's not eating? She doesn't have any other hobbies.
It's gonna be hard, I know. Right now it's not that bad. When I hear my stomach...
Well, she's been asleep. Like, it is fasted. Technically, she did not eat. But if she's been asleep, then she hasn't really had to face it, has she?
Growl or something. I'm like, yeah, eat the fat in my body. Eat it. You know? But with water fasting, I know my skin, my hair, everything will be glowing in a few days. If I make it that far, you'll see. Just watch.
Don't believe me, just watch.
And then it's going to be about relearning proper nutrition, which I may seek at a center, or
she's going to go to some life wellness, vegan, swami, bullshit coach. This is what she's going to do. She's going to be eating high vibrational foods in no time.
There's a lot of online nutritionists as well, but we'll see. So I guess today's day 1, and I know I did a video not, months ago, trying to do a 40-day water fast.
You did?
I will not be doing 40 days, but
I doubt she's even going to make it to 40 hours, but we'll see.
I'm going to see how long I can go. Oh, excuse me. Even a couple days just to give my body a rest, and lower those sugar levels. That's the main thing, is to lower the sugar levels.
And then when you eat again in 40 hours or however long, and your sugar level spikes, what are you going to do then?
That are dangerously high, and the blood pressure as well will go down. Because anything I eat, I feel like, anything with an amount of sodium. And the thing is like, if it doesn't taste good to me.
That's her admission there that she's not willing to change her diet. There you go. That's why she doesn't bother going and getting it. Nothing to do with anything else. Just, if it doesn't taste good, I won't do it. Now, I realise I'm being a little bit flippant here, and that you do have to eat food and you don't want it to taste awful all the time. It's very hard to stick to if you don't at least partially like it. But this is an emergency. Focus on getting the numbers down, and then focus on integrating things that will make it more sustainable for you. She's not going to get that far. It's not going to matter. She's not going to need to plan this, but still.
I'd rather not eat. So, anyway, but this will reset my palate as well. Going without any food. Once you eat food again, it tastes like it doesn't need a whole bunch of salt and sugar.
Well, you did this for 5 days before, and we're here. So did it help last time?
Just tastes good because you're like, food, you'll appreciate the sugar, natural sugar in the fruit. You'll appreciate whatever. So, all right, guys, thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.
And there we are. Like I said, she already had a community post saying that she was feeling ill and she wasn't back. Let me just double check YouTube and make sure she doesn't have a new video up, because I do not believe no new videos. So whatever the next video is, I think she's going to be stepping away from the water fast. We will see, and I'll be here. Bye bye, everybody.